So welcome back to another video. We're here with another TierMaker video. This time we're going to be doing ranking championship captains. Obviously we've seen Ben HD do this video, so that's where we got the idea from. Brilliant idea, so we're going to be doing it ourselves now. So the categories are, so it starts from the top, it goes from elite captain to great leader to good skipper to average to bad leader. So starting off with Barnsley, because we're going to go in alphabetical order. So Barnsley, their captain is Alex Mowat, and we've put him in as a good skipper. We think he's decent. He leads the team well. If Barnsley are to stay up, they'll definitely be looking for him to try and bring them out of the relegation zone. And for that reason, we've put him in good skipper. But on to the next one.
For next is Birmingham City, and their skipper's obviously Harley Dean. Quite a tricky one to be honest, but we put him as a bad leader because I think he's good with his I think he's good at football, but I just don't think he has the right leadership skills to be a captain. So that's why we put him as a bad leader.
Yeah, so next up is Blackburn Rovers, and their captain is Elliot Bennett. Obviously, I think he's been around there for a while now, but we've put him in average because you just don't hear much of him when Blackburn are playing. Like when other teams are playing, you hear a lot from their captains, but I just don't hear much from Elliot Bennett when he's playing. So for that reason, we put him as average, and then now on to the next one.
So next we've got Brentford, which is Pontus Jansson. We put him as a great captain because specifically, I think vocally I think he's really vocal and very talkable as well. So and he's just very commanding on the pitch as well. So that's why we put him as a great leader.
Yeah, so now on to Bristol City, and their captain is Corey Smith. We've put him in good skipper. I think he's a really good captain. Obviously, back a couple of seasons ago, he scored that winner against Man United in the Carabao Cup. And then he went on a really long injury, and now he's back, and I just think he's a really good leader. He's been at Bristol really well, really long, and knows the club really well. So for that reason, we've put him in good skipper.
Now next is Jason Pearce of Charlton. We put him as average because we don't really see him that much being quite talkative or being quite vocal in a way. He's normally just there on the sides, just trying to do a job. And he's a decent player, but we just don't see that much of him vocal-wise. So that's why we put him average.
Yeah. So next up is Cardiff City, our rivals, and their captain is Sean Morrison, and we've put him in the good skipper one. I do think he's a good skipper. He was the captain up in the Premier League as well. He did fairly well, but he's doing well for them in the Championship as well. Been around that club for years, so for that reason we've put him in good skipper.
So next Derby County, and obviously Rooney's their captain at the moment. And we put him as an elite captain. Well, he's just a great guy. He's a great player, a great person, very commanding on the pitch, very vocal, really talkative as well. I'm pretty sure he's probably given a lot of advice to the young players there as well on how to improve and stuff. And on the pitch you can just see how much he obviously loves Derby and how much he loves football, and he's just a great guy really, so that's why I put him as an elite captain.
Yeah, so next on to Fulham. So for Tom Kearney, we've put him as average. As a player, he's brilliant, one of the best players in the league, but I just don't see him as a leader really. Doesn't really have the traits, but I can understand it because obviously he's been at the club for years, and I think he's from Fulham as well, but I just don't see him as a leader, and for that reason we've put him in average.
So next is Schindler, plays for Huddersfield. We put him as a good skipper because we feel like he's a player that really wants to do well for the team, and a player that really wants to help Huddersfield get back to try and get back to the Prem. And obviously it hasn't really gone their ways the last few years, but hopefully there'll be a club that'll want to maybe go all for it maybe in the next few years, try and get better. And I feel like Schindler is a great player to have in their team, someone who's quite commanding and someone who wants to try and read the game, so that's why I put him as a good skipper.
Yeah, so next on to Hull City, and it's Eric Lehigh. Obviously was at Nottingham Forest, scored got a brace against Arsenal, I think, and knocked them out of the cup. But obviously he's now at Hull and he's their captain. We've put him as bad captain. I know it sounds a bit harsh, but again, you just don't really hear much of him. I think they would have been better giving the captaincy to someone like Jackson Irvine or someone like that, but they give it to Eric Lehigh. And yeah, you just don't hear much of him, so we've put him in as a bad captain. But on to the next one.
Next is Liam Cooper of Leeds United. We put him as an elite captain because for me, I hear him a lot on the pitch when I'm watching Leeds. Very commanding, always tries to help people out, gives them some advice on what they should do on the pitch and where they should be in their right positions, and he's just that type of guy that you need in your team to try and help the team push forward, and that's why I put him as an elite captain.
Yeah, so now on to Sonny Bradley of Luton Town. I think he's a great leader, I do. So that's why we put him in the great leader category. He just leads by example really well at Luton. I know he scored against Middlesbrough in their first game of the season, which was an outstanding goal as well from a captain, their first goal in the Championship. So yeah, for that reason we've put him as a great leader, but on to the next one.
The next one is Middlesbrough, and their skipper is George Friend. We put him as a good skipper because we feel like he's a very, very decent player on the pitch. He likes to try and help Middlesbrough a lot, and I think he's been a key player for them over the last few years. And you know, Middlesbrough, they haven't been really been the best sides the last few years, but I feel like they can improve, and I feel like if they have George Friend, who's a decent skipper, then I feel like they shouldn't really have any problems.
Yeah, so now on to Millwall. So it's Alex Pearce. We've put him as a good skipper. You know, he's been around the club for quite a while. He pops up with a few goals. He leads the team really well. The fans like him. Yeah, so for that reason, we've put Alex Pearce as a good skipper.
Next is Ben Watson of Nottingham Forest. Forest have just been a class team this year, to be honest. They've done really well. They've really improved under their new manager. I can't think what his name is, but I know they've done really, really well this year. And yeah, I feel like Ben Watson's a great player that they have. I think he's like a holding midfielder, defensive-wise. And yeah, he's a really decent player. Likes to, he's just a very talkable guy, very commanding, and he just likes to keep everyone active on what they're meant to be doing. And yeah, he's a good leader. He's a good leader, so that's why I put him as a great skipper.
So on to Preston. Obviously Paul Gallagher. He's been at the club for a while as well. He's getting quite old now, but he's a really good captain, and we've put him in good skipper. We don't quite feel like he's great or elite, but yeah, I think the good skipper category is where he belongs, and yeah, he's a very good captain.
Next is Grant Hall of QPR. We put him as average because we don't really see that much of him. In my opinion, I don't think QPR really have that captain that really wants to push on. Someone that's got any leadership skills. I don't really know if they have that type of person, but Grant Hall is a decent guy, decent player, but I just feel like he doesn't have those amazing leadership skills. They're not bad, but I just don't think they're not fantastic. So that's why we put him as an average one.
Yeah, so now on to Reading. Their captain is Liam Moore. I do think he's a very good player, good centre back, but for captaincy wise, just put him in average. You know, you just don't really hear much of him. I don't think he has the right sort of traits to be the leader. Well, I do think he has the right sort of traits to be a leader, but I think sometimes he can go a bit quiet and a bit under the radar. But yeah, I do think he is a good one, but I've put him in average, so he's not quite good yet, but so for that reason we've put Liam Moore in average. So now on to the next one.
Next one is Tom Lees of Sheffield Wednesday. We put him as a good skipper because he's a very, very decent player, and he likes to keep people, tell them where they should be at the right time, and he just really wants to help the team. And you know, I wouldn't say he's a bad captain at all. I wouldn't say he's excellent, but I think he's a decent captain, and I feel like he can help the team in many ways, so that's why we put him as a good skipper.
Yeah, so next up is Stoke City, and obviously their captain is Ryan Shawcross. Been in the Premier League with them, been a really good servant to the club. I know he's had an injury, but he's stuck with them through thick and thin. So for that reason, we've put him as the lead. I just think he's a great leader to have around the team. Helps the players really well, and yeah, so that's why we've put Ryan Shawcross as elite. And now on to our team, Swansea.
Yeah, so obviously it's our team Swansea now, and yeah, our skipper is currently Matt Grimes. In all honesty, I'd say he's a decent captain. I think a lot of people could debate about this. People could say, possibly Rosen could be our captain in the next few years if he stays, or possibly give it to someone like Van der Horn, or someone like Ayew maybe. But yeah, our captain's Matt Grimes for now. And I think he's a great player, and I think he's quite good vocal-wise as well. He does like to help the team, and he's a player that we've needed for a while. I think we've always needed that midfielder to replace someone like John Joe Shelby and Jonathan de Guzman. We've needed that type of player, and I feel like he's a great captain to us, and he's served our club very well, and I think he's a great player for the future. So that's why I put him as a good skipper.
So last but one is West Brom, and obviously their captain is Chris Brunt, and I believe he's about to leave soon after 13 years. But we have put him as a great leader because he's been at the club for 13 years, leads the team really well, good player as well. He used to be. He's still quite good now, but obviously he's getting on a bit. But for that reason, he's a great servant to the club. So we've put him as a great leader, and now on to Wigan finally.
Oh yeah, so Wigan's captain is Sam Morsey. We put him as a good skipper because he likes to help the team in many ways. He's always trying to help the team with people trying to stay in position and telling them that you've got the pitch and you go and do this, you do that, and he's quite commanding like that. So that's why we put him as a good skipper. Obviously this has been Championship captains. So thanks for watching this video. Obviously leave a like if you enjoyed it, and yeah, thanks for watching.